iOS 18 is here and I just installed it here on this iPhone 15 Pro. Apple's been making a ton of noise this year about Apple Intelligence and all kinds of AI features, but actually that's not what iOS 18 is about. All those AI features are coming with iOS 18.1, which is supposed to come next month. Thankfully, 18.0 has a few noteworthy changes that I honestly am more excited about than anything AI related. So let me take you through some of my favorites and you guys can go try them out yourself once you update. Okay, let's start with all the new customization features. On the lock screen, you can finally change up the bottom left and right corner buttons, so you're not limited to just the flashlight and camera shortcuts. You can swap these for any shortcut that's available in the control center. Speaking of which, there's a new refreshed control center where you can easily edit and arrange all kinds of new controls and shortcuts. I always found the control center to be super limiting and not very clear on customizing it, so this is a very welcome change. You also have your new infamous app icon customizations where you can change up the color, tint, and even size of your home screen icons. In the app library, you can now lock certain apps behind Face ID and even hide them too. This is great for protecting some of your sensitive apps and for cleaning up your app library. But by far my favorite change is that just like Android, you can now place app icons anywhere on the home screen grid, so you finally don't have to fill up the whole grid to get certain apps to be at the bottom of the screen. This is so much more convenient for quick one-handed usability, and it feels freeing to know that you can finally have some empty space if you want to. With all these customizations added, I love that I can finally personalize iPhones to be how I really want them to be, and I'm liking this new home screen that I just put together. Next thing I want to mention is the changes to Messages. The biggest huge change here is the fact that Messages is finally compatible with RCS. So as long as your Android friends have RCS enabled on their phones, they'll finally be able to react to your messages, send high quality images and videos, and you'll be able to see when your messages have been read by them or when they're typing. It's basically like your Android phones are using iMessage. I think this will definitely make some progress in closing the gap with green bubble discrimination, which is a problem mostly just in the US. Outside of RCS, there are new text effects where you can customize your text to emphasize what you're trying to say. You can resize certain words, make them explode, bloom, jitter, or whatever. Also, you can finally schedule messages too, so if you need to remind a family member or friend about something at a certain time, this will definitely come in handy. Apple's native password manager used to be stuck in the settings, but it's finally its own standalone app now, which makes it so much easier to access. Plus, it now has support for two-factor authentication codes, so you don't have to rely on any third-party authenticators. And they'll autofill for you in Safari, so you don't have to go into another authenticator app, go back to Safari, and copy and paste them. This will just do that for you. A lot of users aren't really security literate, so I'm hoping this new implementation helps onboard those users into this more secure experience. And for Apple-only users who are familiar with password managers and authenticators, you can now just use this instead of anything third-party, which is probably going to be a lot more convenient. Next up is the Notes app. It hasn't been reimagined in any way, but it's got a few low-key updates that are actually super useful for people who do use it often. You can now get full transcriptions for voice memos, so you can easily take notes for classes, interviews, or meetings without having to type away so much. If your notes are more math or finance related, Notes gives you automatic calculations based on both your text and drawings. Notes is basically an integral app for a huge percentage of iPhone users for memos and writing down important reminders or info, so even though these aren't totally in-your-face features, I think they'll be really appreciated down the line. Overall, iOS 18 was a fairly low-key update as you can tell from this short video, especially considering that no Apple Intelligence features made it here. But personally, just these few changes make a huge difference to my user experience, especially all the customization options and the addition of RCS to Messages. What this also shows me is that with iOS 18, the iPhone 15 Pro is still such a good phone and there's very little reason to go for the newer 16 Pro. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought about this update and how your experience is going so far. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.